Welcome to part 2 of our mini-series of how to send data between Zapier and Bubble. In the previous video, I demonstrated how we could use Zapier to extract new entries from an RSS feed, in this case a podcast, the podcast being Diary of a CEO, and import that data into our Bubble app through a Zapier Zap and sending to an endpoint of our Bubble app. In this Bubble tutorial video, I'm going to show you how we can do the opposite, which is how we can send data from our Bubble app to Zapier. Just like a quick disclaimer, there are many of the services that are listed in Zapier. You could probably do a better job and a more thorough job of integrating in with those services by connecting to their API directly using the Bubble API connector. But there are some exceptions, and that's why I'm recording this video, particularly services with OAuth 2. It gets very complicated, and Zapier might just save you a lot of time. So what do we do to send data from our Bubble app to Zapier? Well, we're going to be using webhooks again, and we're going to be using the Bubble API connector. But before I launch into that, you're watching this video because you're learning Bubble, and you can unlock hundreds of our tutorial videos. You can't find them anywhere else apart from our website, planetnocode.com, where we are building a community of no-code app creators just like you. So join our community, become a member, and unlock all of our videos to accelerate your Bubble app development journey. Right, let's launch into Bubble to Zapier. I'm going to go into plugins and go to the API connector and add in a new API. And I'm going to call it Zapier. And we will add in a new API call. And I'll just call this one send data. I'm not sure what I'm going to send just yet. Action, and we're going to send it as post because we're sending a chunk of data. We're posting data to Zapier. And let's add in some parameters. In fact, I'll do the opposite. What if I want to send podcast information from Bubble to Zapier? So I'll go with title. I'm unticking private because I want to be able to access this field in a workflow. And I'll say description. Right, that's all I can do here. Let's go into Zapier. And I need to set up a webhook. And say when data is sent to the webhook, I can leave that blank. And I need to copy this into here. And then let's put in some test data. So I'll just go again, diary of a CEO. Learn how to run a business at Podcast Empire. I'm going to swap back to Zapier here. Let's get rid of that. All right, and test the webhook. This puts Zapier in learn mode, ready to receive. And so I'm going to send data. I get a success status back. That's good. Go back to Zapier, say test again, and there we go. That is the data that I've sent from Bubble. And so then I can add an action, and I can choose from any of the thousands of apps available through Zapier, and I can pass that data along. So that's it. That's really quite simple, isn't it? Being able to send data into Zapier. Just remember that maybe I'm a bit of a purist, and I like to kind of do scrappy development, but I would always check, if you need to integrate in with a third-party service, I would always check the API documentation. We've got a ton of videos of using the Bubble API connector, many services ranging from OpenAI for text generation, all the way through to sending emails and receiving emails into your Bubble application. We've got stuff on audio transcription. We've got content on how to integrate in with third-party APIs for text to audio. So all of that can be done in the Bubble API connector, and you don't need a Zapier, you don't need a Zapier paid account, but for some services you may well find that Zapier makes it a whole lot easier, and so this is how you can send data from your Bubble app into Zapier.